Today we're going to take a look at some places in New Mexico in the Hembrillo Basin associated with Victorio Peak and the surrounding terrain. Pretty well-known treasure tale. We're going to look at some specific sites, and I'll give some GPS waypoints at the end. The mountain range wasn't even named until much more recently. Now it's the San Andres Mountains. Fairly big range, actually. Not a lot of minerals right there, but minerals in the area. So, in this picture we can see two entrances to Victoria Peak, one on the top and one to the right. They've been caged, and of course the whole place is on white sand, so not somewhere you can really go. But once in a while you can get access on tours and stuff to go in. Just got to get permission. So it's an active military range. Don't go there. Just stay out. But really interesting history. So as we look around the basin, you can see some excavations. You can see a lot of roads that have been cut in. The Noss cabin was actually a little ways away over in the side canyon, as indicated there. And so we'll zoom in there. I do have pictures of that. The door has got a lot of markings on it. Back when the door was in good shape, you can find pictures of that. Gold House series of books, I think, might have a picture. But since I don't own any of those pictures, I won't show those. Zooming out a little bit, kind of rotating around. We're looking south now. You see there's a spring indicated on the map and major fault line, actually, which is pretty interesting because that's the idea, is that, inside the mountain there's this big fault, and that's somehow Mr. Noss got his access was through that kind of a system, which is also the kind of thing that would bring in mineral, even though, again, the surrounding area doesn't. This immediate area doesn't have mineral, but pretty much every mountain range around it has gold. So if you're going to bury something where you don't want people digging to look for it, you might put it in a barren area, kind of like here, a nice interior basin with some good access points. Off to the right of the screen there, where I had that place mark a second ago, that actually apparently was a native occupation site. What I'm labeling now in the video is actually Geronimo Peak. So if you look at a map that's circulated on the internet a lot, but also in the Gold House series of books, again, great books, you can see there's really two peaks on this particular map, which is in some way associated with the whole treasure saga of the region. And that one with the little dude standing on top of it is presumably Geronimo Peak. Also, if you're good with astronomy, you'll see there's at least one astronomical symbol. Maybe there's some kind of orienteering to do with that. If you think about, say, the Spanish instrument, it's called, that was used by perhaps Doffet or others to locate their sites over in the Caballos. So Bloody Hands is a site that gets a lot of attention, supposedly an extra entrance into the fissures inside the mountains, and supposedly a lot of gold was taken out near there at some point also, and in addition to the peak itself. And I haven't really heard of anything happening on Geronimo Peak, so that's maybe mystery to be explored by, I guess, whoever can get access to the area, which is not me or anybody I know. I've heard there's a Spanish battle site reported sort of out in that little valley to the right. I know there's some metal detecting archaeology done on the area related to the Apache and U.S. cavalry battles there, and so we presume they would have picked up any Spanish artifacts if there were any there. So I'm not sure how true that part of the story is. This little lookout's kind of anomalous. It's way off by itself. It's not really in a great position for much of anything as far as I could tell, but there it is. So somebody built it for some reason. There's the road in and out of the basin, which is presumably what Noss would have mostly used. A little symbol of his, perhaps, for actually over in the Caballos. If you look really good in this sequence where I'm panning around, you can see something of note, and might have something to do with an old cannon that some folks I knew said they saw sitting up on a high cliff and weren't able to get back to before it disappeared and walked off, ended up in somebody else's possession. So that's just a quick tour. I'll throw some GPS coordinates in here so you don't have to go searching for it in Google Earth. It's not like a big secret where this location is. It's just a place you can't get to now, but a lot of interesting history in the region, and for here in particular, of course, the Dark Noss tale.